Good evening and welcome to Corporate News. I'm here with Claudia, aka Fang.
Fang, rocking it.
Rocking it.
24/7.
Absolutely. More energy than I know what to do with.
Oh my gosh, no. You guys missed an amazing song.
Like, I can just feel the waves of energy emanating off of you. I kind of want to, hug you and absorb as much of it as I can.
You know what the trick is?
Caffeine?
Birthday cake Starbucks frappe. But this is the last day you can get it. So
I don't think I could get that anyway.
It's 12% sugar. No, wait, the wrong one. 12% caffeine, 28% sugar. And milk.
Sounds
so,
about right. Sounds
your
about
favorite.
Right. So, we have a lot of excited emotes. Hi guys. So we have a lot of news to dive into, but first I want to say, let's start off by saying that we have heard your pleas with the pricing on the market segment expenditures with the metagame. We are going to lower those prices, but because of the R-Loop competition, or not competition, but the R-Loop fundraiser marathon that we are doing tomorrow, we haven't had time to worry about that yet. So apologies. We're planning on working on that. Zach and I are going to work on that on Friday. But right now, priority has to be the R-Loop.
I'm so pumped for the R-Loop thing.
I'm really excited for the R-Loop thing and science.
And remember, even if you can't throw money at it, please just let your friends know to watch it.
Yes,
that is
retweet.
what we need, is we want as many people to know about this as humanly possible.
Yes.
And so, this is where I need you guys' power of social media.
Yes.
Right
This
now.
is one of those moments where we want a really big push to get the word out there, and so sharing the stream, clicking that little share button below tomorrow, and tweeting it out, posting about it on Facebook.
Right.
These things are almost more important in a lot of ways for this sort of an event, because even if you don't have money, if you reach 5 people and 2 of them do have money, then that's more than you might.
Dude, if you reach just one person, that one person could be like, science! And then they get to watch quality television. It's not even...
It's true.
I'm just excited we get to be a part of this.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Very, very exciting for science. But people are here for Shadowrun right now, so
I can talk about it.
We should recap what happened last episode, if you wouldn't mind.
So, just to let you know, we were hired by the Evo Corp to investigate.
Corp. Not Evil Corp.
No,
they're all evil.
No, they're all evil.
Evo. Evo.
And we're going to investigate a area. And in this area, they were stealing away elves and putting in illegal mind computery stuff. I'm super good at lingo, guys. Computery stuff. And then we're gonna figure it out. So Mainframe, who, if you didn't know, actually an elf.
Actually an elf, one of my people.
Yeah. She
Not wearing
was
my ears,
stepped in and was like, I will be bait for this. And so we're gonna go save her because that's what we do on Team Umfek. So currently, we're gonna be going in to the Red Flower.
That sounds intense.
It's super intense. I've never been really afraid for any runs, except for this one. Because if we mess up this one, it's gonna go really bad.
Really, really bad. So Mainframe went in. What did she do about her ears? How did she?
Well, the issue is that so her aura is elf and her biology is elf, but they did experiments to her when she was younger, so they cut off her ears and they messed with her to the point where she could look human at first glance. But in a biological sense, she is still elf, so they still accepted her in the program, which was perfect for us.
A little bit of bait.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Very cool.
so she's not even going to be awake during this entire time.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she's not even here.
Which explains why she might be missing from the cast tonight.
She found...
Convenient that.
Yeah, somehow that's how it works. But I'm excited because So here's what I'm excited about. One, it's our first corporate war.
The first corporate sponsored run. The first run where you guys, the metagame players, are actually a part of this.
Yeah, and what's really great is we're actually investigating this other corporation that is doing this to metahumans.
Interesting.
Yeah, so who are you gonna call? Umfek is the answer whenever you need something happening.
Unless it's ghosts.
Unless it's ghosts, because we don't deal with ghosts.
No.
Spirits,
absolutely.
for sure.
Sharky.
Sharky is one of my favorites.
Yes.
I talk a lot with Tony and Dan, Cromwell and Mordecai, and I just learned about the undead rules for like different kinds of races.
Ooh.
Because when they die different ways. Like if Fang ever gets bitten by a vampire, she'd become a Wendigo.
A Windigo.
Yeah, but if like the dwarf ever gets bitten by a vampire, they become a goblin. So like, I'm excited for this knowledge that will never happen. Because, like, I'm really hoping Fang never turns... Well, if Fang was going to go, it'd be a Wendigo, like, for sure. Fang's never going to go.
That's kind of a... Like, would you no longer be able to play? Would that...
I know.
I mean, that sounds... I kind of want that to happen now, and I
the
like
Wendigo
all of you.
part. Yeah, I know,
Like,
and it's so cool.
Now I want to, like, experiment on the players, and that's not okay.
I know. It's really hard because... There's such a cool verse that we don't get to play in because we're actually attached. Like, if Fang ever died, I might, like, curl up in a ball and cry for hours, actually.
Oh, my goodness. So, while we're chatting here, if people have questions
throw it out.
For Claudia or Fang,
or
toss
the
them
metagame.
into the chat.
Yeah.
And then, metagame as well, though usually I'll answer those towards the end of the news.
That's right, 'cause I get kicked out.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
We can do that. We can do that now too. I don't have a huge amount of time that, since we've established everything over the previous weeks.
Yeah.
I don't have to spend a huge amount of time explaining anything new. I can just answer the questions. So we'll regulate it.
No,
It'll be good.
I'm really excited to be a part of this because I've never been in this room. So when me and my knowledge of Fang was asked, I was like, oh really?
I could have sworn I had you on earlier.
No.
Huh.
No.
Interesting.
I've been in this room before, but.
Well, yeah, but on the show,
No.
I thought I could have sworn. Interesting. Well, somebody said purchasable to turn Fang into a Wendigo.
Here's the. I mean, that's.
Don't tempt me.
Don't tempt it because, like, here's the thing. If I love Wendigos. I love supernatural stuff. If you didn't know, but if that ever happened, like, step one. Fang would just eat everyone. Like, no doubt. Like, Wendigos, they are just murdering, rampaging beasts, which is why they're so awesome.
Well, then, if you killed the other members, would they turn into something different entirely?
I don't think so.
Or?
I know that, like, so depending on the
That's disappointing if not.
To put in perspective for people who don't really know what Wendigos are. Wendigos are a Native American beast that happens because they eat human flesh. So if you ever go cannibal, then the spirit of a Wendigo can possess you and create a monster that only wants to feed. So I do not believe, from my knowledge of lore, that biting a Wendigo, a person, makes another Wendigo, because the act of cannibalism causes the Wendigo to happen.
Interesting.
Or in this case, the undeadness.
Interesting.
Yeah, if Windigo Fang would be totally just too strong. Because the issue is that Wendigos are really fast and really strong and really quiet. And, Fang is all those things, so.
So you'd be extra fast.
So good, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the quietest Fang ever was.
Extra all of these things.
Yeah.
So who has a question here for Claudia? I think somebody was asking if there was anything when you were making your character that you wish you had done differently.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I love Fang to bits. And I threw a lot of negative qualities her way because I enjoy working with more negatives than positives.
Yeah.
What I really wish, like, as a player that I worked on is being more specific with my weapon choice and, like, understanding what guns did what. Because I threw a lot of my points into arms, which does shotguns. I've used a shotgun, like, twice. So, like, while I have that, and it's so strong, like, Fang rarely uses it because they have to be, like, 10 feet away. And at that point, like, come on.
At that point, you're going to pull a wolf blade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wolf blade for the win.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Do I need a certain amount of essence to be a supernatural being? Yeah, because Wendigos are really long and thin. I wonder if she would become armless, which would be even scarier. If there was, like, an armless Wendigo running at you. how did I come up with the Fang persona? It's actually funny because the first time I played Fang was in some practice sessions, and I imagined like Fang like super dark and like really like emo and just being like, I hate everyone, and like just a horrible murderer. Like how we got through a lock, I think, was I just cut off a living guy's arm, was like, I have the key. And like, that's not who Fang is. And so how I came up with Fang was I played her for like a couple sessions. I was like, this is what I like to do. This is fun. This is ridiculous. And this is what we needed in our party.
Often when you are playing an RPG and you make a character, you make the stats, but you don't really make the character then. You think you do, but then a few sessions into it, you start to really realize who the person is.
And that's
who
what
there is a person, not who their stats are.
Right, and that's who Fang was, because Fang's stats are really built to be like serious gun-toting, like kill everyone. But like Fang, I believe Fang does not like to murder people. Like, she has all these skills that she learned through Lone Star and through prison, but she doesn't like to do that. She'll do it, and she'll do it for teamwork and friendship, but like, she doesn't want to murder, which is super interesting, because like, I mean, just the Elsie Fang combo is so intricate, because like, Elsie on the outside does not look like a murderer. I'm pretty sure she, like, I am afraid of Elsie more than anyone else. She's got like a dark mafia vibe over there. And then like Fang, who's the scariest one, is like, oh no.
White Wabbit asks a question
Please.
that would be best for Lauren. And since Lauren isn't here,
I can try, because I
save that question. Save that question, and sometime we'll get Lauren on the show.
Yeah. Claudia, Matrix Forbid, what would you pick if you had to reroll your character?
Or tweet it to her.
Oh yeah, please tweet it to her. Yeah. I was actually trying to figure this out, because I was like,
and this is probably the last question.
Yeah, there's so many good questions. Please tweet them at me. I literally I just sit in bed answering tweets. If I have to reroll, which I never want to do, like ever want to, is I would want to pull a character who actually uses a bow, and like is very much like background and doesn't want to conflict, because right now we're so gun-ho about killing, or like fighting. It'd be interesting to have a character who would rather try to do everything
diplomatically.
Yeah, yes. And then only uses bows as a last resort.
Interesting. So you would want to basically reverse the character you have
100%,
and be all 100%,
and I'd also want to play a male.
Interesting.
I actually was going to make Fang a male for a long period of time. Like, Fang's gender switched so often between the two, because, I mean, like, to me, Fang's gender is just like, I mean, at this point, like, thinking about Fang, I don't even know, I know that she identifies as female now, but like, she looks very ambiguous, and I don't even know if she likes males or females. Like, I really don't. Because that's not a focal point of Fang.
And it doesn't matter yet.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, I've thought about it, because I've written down, I've sat and been like, what are the things I know about Fang, so I can be sure and be perfect. But
it's very, very cool. Well, thank you very, very much. And good luck on your run tonight.
I'm gonna need all the luck, guys. But
Excellent. I have and edge.
I have edge, and I'm so afraid. I can't wait to use them. I want to use them. I have a skill in not negotiation, intimidation that I'm planning to use.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I don't want to leave. I want to stay here forever.
Thanks. Maybe next time you can help me report the news. Yeah. But for now, you have to go get ready for your run.
Yeah. I guess I'm gone now. Bye, guys.
Okay, and now, put that over there, we get to recap the news. That was the recap of last session, but now we have something else entirely. We get to read the press releases. Okay, so in the last week, there have been a number of developments. A lot of research was done last week, and only a little bit of attacking and PR. But I have a variety of press releases from some of the corporations and so on that CCSS Alexander is expected to be delivered by the end of summer. the NEAT-class spacecraft are a brand new mixture of tech, mixing solar and nuclear power to fuel the ship's engines on its trips. They thank you for your understanding. Similarly, a new partnership between Lockheed Martin and Qantas is anticipated to produce the brand new NEAT-class spacecraft. The first craft of the line, the CCSS Alexander, is expected to be delivered by the end of summer. The NEAT-class spacecraft are a brand new mixture of tech, mixing solar and nuclear power to fuel the ship's engines on its trips, ferrying people and cargo to Zurich Orbital. Production begins immediately. Recruitment is releasing a new product as well called the Cable Cutter. They report that it digs and digs and digs some more. Then it puts what it dug up onto a truck bed for removal. Construction has never been so easy. Can also be used to lift or drill. Tonka Corp doesn't have anything to compare to this machine. Recruitment is proud to unveil the latest development for their fleet of construction vehicles. Wuxing has investigated the action of its banks and found there was an inside issue. The person, Zachary Snake Eyes Bonkenstein, was dealt with, and research has begun to prevent further leaks of bad information. Wuxing believes that Lotus Financial is honorable, strong, and a worthy institution that believes in its customers and helping them invest in their futures. A press release from the Financial Times states, today, Shiawase Security Services announced the creation of a new subdivision, Kanshisha Consulting, dedicated to the promotion, protection, and potential of government law enforcement. Our reporters, however, were stunned when the market share of this new market segment was announced at only 6 billion nuyen. We tried to contact the head of Kanshisha and were rebuffed at first by the Shiawas Market Information and Forecasting Department. However, our crack reporters found that Zach Eubank was named the head of this unit at some internal strife with Shiawase. We contacted Zach and he had this to say before being cut off by representatives of Shiawase MIFD. What's it to you, yo? You think they can stick me in some low-down beaten corner of Shiawase? You think that they can contain all that is the Zach? Well, I'll take a dump on all of ya and see how much you stink up the place. Other executives within Shiawas have refused to comment. Ares performed successful research in both law enforcement and aerospace, while Evo and Mitsuhama both conducted aerospace research successfully as well. Horizon saw improvements in their media research, Renraku in robotics, and Wuxing in finance. Rounding it all out, Neonet saw some fairly painful losses in their cyberware research, and Renraku is reported to have suffered an attack on their consumer goods facilities. That's all I've got for this week's news. The actions for the corporate war this week are all coming in as we speak. I've had to close my Discord out completely so as not to have the noises repeatedly coming up on the microphone. But if you all have questions for me about the corporate wars, please do put them into chat. As I mentioned again at the beginning of the show, I mentioned we did hear what you were saying about the market share spending costs. The new market share spending that we rolled out last week, pretty much unanimously people thought that the prices were too high, almost unanimously it seems. So while some people were okay with that, most agreed that they're a bit steep, and on thoughtful reflection we agree. However, we have not had time over here at HyperRPG to work on lowering those just yet because of the R-Loop event that we are hosting here tomorrow. We've been all heads down and hands on deck for that. We intend to revise the pricing on the market shares spending on Friday. So keep an eye out for that. You may not hear about it until Rabbit Stew on Monday, but I promise we'll get that in order before Zach heads to California. So like I said, if you have questions about the metagame, the Corporate Wars metagame, please do post them into chat. Feel free to tag HyperRPG or myself, Anna, when you ask that question so that I can more easily see them. But yes, that is an important thing to speak on a little bit further. This is a very, very new system. Nobody has done anything like what we are trying to do with Corporate Wars. So understand that this is the constant evolution of a new game, a new thing that we're trying to bring to you as quickly as we can, which means that we haven't really play tested it ourselves because we've lacked the ability and the time to do so. So really, the playtesting comes from all of you, from us listening to your feedback. So make sure that you are sending feedback our way. If you have constructive criticism, we are happy to field any questions and listen to what you all have to say. And that is, hopefully going to be reflected in what we do with the market share spending. So. I'm not a fan of this unless am I alone and more people not a fan of this decision. There's Jason WFD says, not a fan of disallowing people to recruit for the corpse in chat unless they buy a related purchasable. The problem is we want that to be a mechanic of the game. We are going to dramatically lower the price of that, but we very much think that that is an important part of the game. We want to keep the spamming of recruiting to a minimum in the chat, but at the same time, you are allowed to talk about the metagame. You're just not allowed to specifically recruit other people. We are going to work on refining that process as we go. But for now, it stands. Apologies, but that's the way it is for now. We are going to work on improving that system and making it easier for everyone. We'll do what we can. So as you can see, people that are advertising as the wonderful Genova Plus and Paradigm Shift have both given solid examples. Those are the things not to do. Don't do that or you get purged and warned. But talking about the game itself is okay. It's perfectly all right. It's advertising like that, and that shouldn't be too difficult of a delineation. The worst thing that's going to happen is your comment gets purged. You get timed out for 1 second when that happens, just 1 second. So don't feel too restricted by this. Don't worry that you're going to overstep too much. If you accidentally say something that is over the line, that's the worst thing that happens. You get purged for 1 second and the mods say, that was over the line. Done. You're not getting in trouble, you're not getting berated or called out or anything like that. We're just trying to find the right balance. And we hope that you all bear with us while we do that, while we find that right balance, and while we try and improve the system so that we have one that works without staunching your creativity, without staunching your conversations and your enthusiasm for the game. But that'll take just a little bit of refining and fine-tuning. And so we apologize in the interim that this is the first step of that. And like I said, remember, this is all very, very new. There are no victory conditions for the metagame. We're talking about various evolutions that directions that we can take the game overall, that we're going to discuss when we have a little bit of time. It's a bit tricky running a Twitch channel and all of these games upon games that we are trying to craft with a truly unique experience here on Twitch for all of you. So we are doing what we can, but if there are more questions, happy to field them. Yes, if you are interested in joining a corporation and joining us in the metagame, then by all means talk to the moderators. You'll need to be a subscriber and then join our Discord server, and from there you'll be able to join one of the 10 mega corporations of Shadowrun and become a part of the game. Choose wisely though. Once you've chosen a megacorp, it is very, very difficult to get extracted and move on to a different one. That said, we do have a few more moments before the real show begins. Somebody mentioned how about making emotes in the form of each corp. We would need a lot more emotes than that, and in order to get there, we need more subscribers, more people viewing, and so on. So, Fractali asks if I could join a corp, which one would it be? Whichever one is last on any given week. I am a big proponent of rooting for the underdog and championing the lost causes. I don't really feel that any cause is actually lost, so I would always choose whichever one is the bottom on any given week. And possibly why I couldn't choose one finally. Question, why is coffee so good? Because it's coffee. Coffee is life. Coffee is love. What if one of the things we could buy would require a lot of market share given up and we get an emote in exchange? Again, we still need more emote slots. Our emote slots are all used now. You can see we've got a bunch more new emotes since last week. Check those out. And remember that emotes take subscribers. We have to have more subscribers to unlock more emotes. It's just how it works. So you want to see that happen? I would like to see that happen at some point. It's going to take time. Does the news really count without the elf ears? I'm sorry, guys. I forgot them. It's been a long week. It's been a very long week. We are almost ready to wrap up and start the show. Hopefully we'll get notified through the intercom when we're done, or somebody will let me know. But I know the real show, the big show, Shadowrun Corporate Sins, is about ready to start.
Yeah, you're good.
And we are good, so that's it. Thank you all for joining in the corporate news this week. I look forward to seeing you all at the end of Corporate Sins when we roll out everyone's actions. So there you go. Have a great week, everyone. And join us tomorrow as well.